Hello, and welcome back to Asianpulse. I'm your host, Shivani Naiker, and we have an exciting show planned up for you today. With COVID-19 rising, our provincial health officer, Dr. Bonnie Henry, has locked down the interior health. 2/3 of the daily numbers of infections are coming from the interior health. In interior health, only 5 people are allowed in homes, and outside, the numbers are up to 50. Our health system is swamped with the numbers of people that are admitted in our hospitals. These are ages between 20 to 45. In these age groups, only one have got vaccinated and some are refusing to get theirs. August 31st is International Overdose Awareness Day. Do you know, in Metro Vancouver, we have lost over 50 people with overdose. 19 of them are in Vancouver alone. Thank you to everybody who came out to the plow drive for the Fiji Disaster Relief Society, which was a huge success. I'll be right back from a few words from our sponsors.
Buying or selling a house is a difficult process. Get Brent Prakash from Saba Realty Limited to find you your dream home, whether it's your first house, upgrading, or investment property. Always at your service with a fast, friendly, and honest opinion. Brent Prakash will guide you through the entire process. Get in touch with him today for a free, no-obligation consultation at 778-840-5866. I understand how important it is to have a place called home, and it's frustrating using your hard-earned money on rent. Vic Prasad can make you a homeowner. Get pre-approved services provided to first-time buyers and new immigrants. You can qualify for mortgage even if you have bad credit. Call Vic Prasad now on 604-306-6647. Vic Prasad is associated with Craft Mortgages Canada Incorporated. I understand how important it is to have a place called home, and it's frustrating using your hard-earned money on rent. Vic Prasad can make you a homeowner. Get pre-approved services provided to first-time buyers and new immigrants. You can qualify for mortgage even if you have bad credit. Call Vic Prasad now on 604-306-6647. Vic Prasad is associated with Craft Mortgages Canada Incorporated.
Community Outreach Pharmacy, providing in-home pharmacy services.
This includes our specialized diabetes and blood pressure monitoring program,
Free blister packing, free deliveries, and an in-home injection service throughout the whole Lower Mainland.
Call us at 604-777-5601.
Coming up, Camilla will be speaking with Shashi Bhushan Maharaj, who is a corporate market researcher at BC Hydro and has recently started her own business, which is anti-aging, that has quickly grown into a global team. Have a look.
Welcome. Before I start or introduce today's guest, I want to acknowledge that we are on unceded territory of Squamish, Silvertooth, and Quatlan. Okay. With that, my guest today is Shashi Bhushan Maharaj, and she is a corporate market researcher for BC Hydro. And she is mother of 3 adult children, and 2 of them are entrepreneurs themselves. And she's been married for last 23 years. She started a new anti-aging business just a year ago, I think, during the pandemic. And she is here to talk about her global team and about her anti-aging business. And she has been with BC Hydro for last 28 years. So welcome, Shashi.
Thank you so much for that beautiful introduction. And I actually just celebrated my 28th wedding anniversary.
Oh,
We just
really? So
finished,
you've been married.
Yeah.
You don't even look like you got 3 kids, and look at you. There got to be
thank
some
you.
secret somewhere.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, it's just, I really just feel I've been living in alignment with my soul's purpose,
Yeah.
and that has really fulfilled me from within.
Okay.
And having an anti-aging business, it just helps with all of those aspects, and it's anti-aging from the cellular level, not from the topical level. So it really does make a huge difference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about before, because we have a lot of time to talk about your business, but talk a little bit about yourself. Talk a little bit about your background.
Sure, yeah. So I'm born in Canada. I'm 51 years old. And so...
Does she look like 51? No way.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think really from my childhood, I had a lot of adversity, I guess, being raised in this country. And my parents had come as new immigrants from India. And my older brother was born by the time that they arrived here. And my father, he was a professional engineer from a family with 10 children in Punjab. And when he arrived here, he was very entrepreneurial. He set up his mobile drafting company to go throughout British Columbia, and very successful. But shortly, within about 3 or 4 years, he was diagnosed with a mental illness called schizophrenia. And things went downhill from there. There was just no understanding at the time in the 70s of what this mental illness was. And there was also a tendency of the Indian community to stigmatize and abandon, almost like, oh, it's their domestic problem, let's not get involved. And so that left my mom, who at the time had 3 children. I was in the middle, trying to hold everything together with my dad's illness, with raising a family, with being working, and he wasn't working at the time. And so I learned at a very young age to depend on myself. My brother, older brother, also got diagnosed with the same illness. So there was a lot going on in our house. And at the time, there was a lot of racism, very few Indian people and in this community where I was brought up. And so that's a little bit about my background. Then fast forward, my father took his own life when I was 15 years old. And I never truly got a chance to grieve, you know, to really feel the loss, because I was right back to school, achieving, getting good grades, and really just trying to fill the loss of what I was feeling through achievements. So then, you know, graduated with a degree, started at BC Hydro, got married all within the same year, and then started having children, you know, and on the outside, you know, people would think, oh, she's got the perfect life, she's got, you know, a beautiful home, great job, good cars, good kids, you know, they're in all the activities. But, you know, on the inside, I really was still feeling a lot of loss, and it was covered up with a mask of having this life and this facade. And my 3rd child, he was diagnosed with Asperger's at around the age of 6 or 7. And that's when, you know, things started to really peel away at me. I just felt very like all of the trauma from my childhood had come up, and I needed to process a lot. And that set me on this path of personal development and going within and really accepting all the truth of who I was and who I am, all of my feelings, all of my emotions. And it just really, like, looking back, like, had that not, I see my son as such a blessing, because it was the start of my healing journey. And then from there, it just went on and on and on, where I just, you know, truly claimed everything that life has to offer. And I just really feel that there's no limits, whatever we want to have in life, in any realm, whether it's our wealth, whether it's our health, whether it's our relationships, we can take it to the next level. It doesn't matter what background we have. The past doesn't equal the future. We get to define it.
Correct. And I have been following you on the Facebook. You are my Facebook friend.
Oh, thank you.
And I've been following you, and you are doing this a thing called anti-aging. And I said, what is anti-aging? When you look at her, can you tell she's 51 years old, with Korea for 28 years, 3 kids, married for that long? So whatever anti-aging you are doing or using, it's really working for you. So why did you think that this is the side business? You work for BC Hydro.
Yes.
So that's a very good corporate job with
Yeah.
good benefits, pension and everything. Why did you want to
Yeah.
choose this anti-aging?
Well, so initially I was at the age of 49. My 50th birthday was around the corner, and I was starting to see a lot of signs of aging. Like, I was feeling it from within. I was feeling like I was starting to get like hot flashes. I was starting to get like lines around my eyes. I was starting to feel like my skin wasn't feeling as, you know, the elasticity. Everything was just, you know, and then inside I wasn't feeling fulfilled. I was feeling like, okay, I've been doing this job now 28 years. I'm kind of in the motions of just waking up and going about the day to day, and then, you know, what am I going to make for dinner? And almost feeling a little lost, like trying to add excitement into my life by like planning a party or maybe planning a trip, or, you know, and it was like I was trying to create some kind of excitement because I didn't feel it from within. So I realized that I truly had a desire to have some kind of business, but I didn't know what it was. And through an acquaintance, I was introduced to these products, and they were developed by a team of 75 scientists. So at the time I was buying things, at Nordstrom's or the Bay or Sephora, and just kind of like, picking up a product and thinking, what it says it's going to do, it will do, spending like, $60 to $80 a product.
Yes,
and,
yes.
And then I was looking into also doing some laser treatments, and that would have been like a $4,000 to $6,000, investment to go and like do some skin treatments. And then I was introduced to these products, and the science behind them just seemed really solid. And I thought, okay, well, it's worth it. I'll give them a try. And then within a few days, I started to see real changes in my skin. Like just a natural glow started to come. And then I just continued for, months. And after about 2 months, like I had these very dark circles around my eyes, which I had for years. And it was genetic, because I could see my mom and my uncles all had, as they got older, darker circles. And I just thought, oh, this is, how I meant to just age like that. I had even seen a dermatologist, and she told me there's nothing you can do. You just go pick up concealer and cover it up, because you can't lighten those circles. So, I had been buying all these different concealers. Every time I go into like a department store, I'd be looking around for another concealer to try it out. And anytime I would go on camera or go out, I wouldn't leave the house without putting concealer on to make my eyes look brighter. And one of the devices from this line, within 2 months, like my dark circles had lightened up probably 60%. And I was just like, wow, this is amazing. And I started really looking into the science. And there's like age lock technology. It's a patented technology. And their products are all developed by a team of the scientists, which I mentioned. And at the same time, my husband was taking their supplements, their anti-aging supplements, which target the genetic level, the cellular level. And he had quite a bad disc injury, a back injury from lifting rocks in our backyard. And he had an arthritic knee that he had been going for blood platelet therapy and acupuncture and physio. And he had pain in his knee and pain in his back. And within about 3 weeks of taking those supplements, he was not having any more pain. So he went from like being on the couch, 8 o'clock, putting his movie on, to like being all energetic, and just, I could see such a change in him. And so at the time, there was a conference happening down in Utah from this company. And I happened to be off work for those couple of weeks, and I just had this voice inside of me, like really pulling me to go there and check it out. And this friend that was part of this company that introduced me to the products, she was going to be there. And so my husband was like, if you want to go, sure, we can go. So we just kind of on a whim just booked the flight and went down. And there was a conference going on with 18,000 distributors that had come in from all over the world, like through Europe, from the States, from Southeast Asia, from China, Vietnam. We saw such an array of people, and they had such an energy about them. And the skin was glowing, the hair looked healthy, and from the inside, they just had so much passion and aliveness. And there was just this glow that we felt so drawn. And then we spent 3 days at this conference, and they had one of the big performers, Gwen Stefani, was there, and Magic Johnson was speaking, and it was such a live place to be. And then we went and toured the lab. And my husband, he works at Triumph, which is Canada's National Particle Physics Lab at UBC. So they have very advanced scientific equipment there. And when he saw the science of what was going on at the lab, they have a mass spectrometer, which is like a $2 million piece of equipment, and that's the level they were inspecting the molecules of the products. And they have a scanning technology that they invested $50 million into, which allows them to measure what the supplements are doing in the body, so that if the antioxidant level will increase, and that's measured by a scanner. So that's what was happening in our bodies. We got to understand when we went to the lab and when we spent time there, that's why we were having these transformations. And so then it just made so much more sense. Like, we're buying these products at Sephora's and department stores, but there's no science there.
Yeah.
And there's packaging, we're spending money for the packaging, for the marketing, for them renting the retail space, and there's really very little money actually put into the product. Whereas this company puts their money into the product to make sure there's results. And then we understood more about the business, and we wanted other people to benefit from this, from these transformations. And instead of spending money on these products that don't work, actually have a transformation in their health. And since then, we've had so many people with their stories of their diabetes scores being cut in half through our supplements, or the hair that they were losing being more abundant and thicker and younger, and just feeling more energy. So it's really improving people's lives and also transforming their wealth levels, the ones that choose to join us in the business.
So you started this during the pandemic, so it
Yes.
hasn't been that long.
No.
And you were talking so highly about the company and what it's done to you and your husband and the people that you have
Yeah.
visited. You were so excited. I can see the glow on your
Yeah.
face
Aw.
whenever you are talking about
Yeah.
the products. So tell me, how do you balance? To me, it seems like this product that you are talking about taking so much time of your life from your children, and you also have a full-time job. So when do you find time to do this? And for you, do you take the supplement by mouth, or do you put makeup? Is it in makeup form?
Yeah, so the supplements are actually, they're in pill form, and there's also a new product that came out. It's in a 1 ounce pouch. It's a Beauty Focus Plus collagen, and it has lutein, which is for the protects the body and the eyes from blue light, from the computer screens and the phones, and photoceramides, which adds hydration into the skin and strengthens the nails and the hair. So it's in a little pouch. So when you drink it, because our body loses, we're made up mostly of collagen,
Yeah.
and we keep losing it as we get older.
As we age, yeah.
Yeah. So you drink this pouch every day, and your joints get better, your tendons, your skin becomes more radiant. So it's a mix. It's the drinkable, and it's the pills. And as for how do I manage it, it's really not time that I'm taking away from anything. Like, probably what's fallen off my plate is time I was spending watching Netflix and TV
Yes.
and movies, and even time like just spent on the phone just talking to people, or spending time on social media looking at other people's life, right? So rather than doing all of that, I'm living my own life now.
Right.
Yeah.
So you are talking to yourself and looking at the products and doing your own research about the products.
Yeah, and just
things like-
sharing. I'm really just
So
sharing.
are you an
Yeah.
independent distributor?
Yes, I'm an independent distributor, and I coach my team. So much of this business is about having confidence from within and about visualizing something bigger.
Thank you, Shashi. Her website is nuskins.com. Understanding teenage brain development and behavior. This is taking place online and is innovative and is packed full of very useful information that will help you understand the huge changes that happen in adultness. Saturday, September 11th from 12 to 5 p.m. is Recovery Day BC in New Westminster. This is celebrating the many pathways to recovery from addiction while raising our voices and say, we can recover. This is Canada's largest mental health and addiction recovery event. Join them for their annual street festival. If you have any events planned in your community and would like to share it on our show, please contact us at asianpulse@gmail.com. We have run out of time. I hope you enjoyed the show as much as I did bringing it to you. If you'd like to support our show and becoming a sponsor, please let us know at asianpulse@gmail.com. Before I leave you with these thoughts. Whether we are concerned with suffering born of poverty, with denial of freedom, with armed conflicts, or with a reckless attitude to the natural environment everywhere, we should not view these events in isolation. Eventually, their repercussions are felt by all of us. There needed effective international actions to address these global issues from the perspectives of the oneness of humanity, and from profounding understanding of the deeply interconnected nature of today's world. By Dalai Lama. See you all next week. Keep watching Asian Pulse. Bye for now.
Example where we're working in the community to real hard to make sure our youth don't get involved or don't that the gangs can't even get close to them because they're doing activities and so forth.
How the city is addressing the issue of guns itself?
Well, guns itself is also a huge issue, as you hear, in that. And so we have done a number of initiatives as far as guns, encouraging people, and you're going to see a program that's launched by the federal government that we've been involved in very shortly, is for people to turn guns over to the government and so forth. And we're going to be a big part of pushing that to encourage them to turn over the guns so that we can get the guns off of the street.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's all.
More questions?
Yeah.
Councillor Locke, some questions. It's up to you. I'm leaving the stage.
Yeah, I know. So, Councillor Locke, as I ask Mr. McCullen that how city is addressing the issues of guns itself, so what you want to say about the gun culture on the streets?
Well, thank you. I think the gun culture it's a huge issue for us. It's a huge issue for the school district as well. I think, and Mayor McCallum touched on this, the amount of work that the City of Surrey is doing in developing parks and infrastructure for kids and keep developing those kind of opportunities for kids to have outlets outside of things that are negative, arts and culture, but parks and recreation. Sports has saved many a kid's life, and I can tell you they will save more. And I know that Mayor McCallum is committed to this. Certainly I am, and we've seen the benefits that kids get out of being active and in sport.
What do you think about illicit drugs? Because nowadays the deaths by illicit drugs is more complicated than the COVID deaths.
It's absolutely the whole issue around fentanyl and the addictions is an incredible challenge for us, not just here in Surrey, but right throughout Metro Vancouver. Certainly, though, Surrey has a large role to play. It's a challenge for us. It's a challenge for our first responders, and it's something that we always have to be alive to. We know that Surrey is providing has supervised consumption sites. I think they are running and they're working to help save people, but people are dying in their homes, and it's an incredibly challenging time for us. So we are going to have to work with our health authorities to try and help people survive. Thank you.
Hopefully we will come up and save our communities. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you.
So, Ms. Huberman, my question to you, as you are from Surrey Board of Trade, but when we talk about Surrey only, it's not issue of only Surrey. It's issue of all over BC. It's issue of all over Canada. What do you think about this issue?
Well, the issue and drug and gang-related issues are really not only a Surrey issue, it's a regional issue. Crime is a regional issue, and gangsters, don't think of just one location. So really, we need to ensure that we're collaborating regionally, provincially, nationally, and certainly this is an issue that is very important to the business community. We want to make sure that our city is attractive to support business, bring business in, that our workforces are able to live, learn, work, and play in the city. And we want to make sure that our young kids are also supported. And so this is a major issue that is at the forefront, not only here in Surrey, but in every single city, every single town across our nation. And so no more, can we let this happen to our youth? And hopefully this is going to be front and center in the upcoming federal election too.
Yeah, because we want our streets safe, we want our youth safe, and we want everyone safe, and we want safe communities. What will be your message?
Well, we absolutely want all of those things. We want a drug and gang-free community. We want a safe community. We want to be able to, for all young women, for all young men to be able to reach their full potential in their city, in their communities, in their families. But we all need to work together. It's not just one solution. It really is a variety of ingredients in the overall recipe, so to speak, to accomplish a drug and gang-free community.
Thank you so much, Ms. Huberman. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Councillor, and thank you, Ms. Huberman. And thank you, PICS, to have this initiative to address this issue. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work, everyone.
Let's make some noise again. What's our slogan today? What does our student want? A drug and gang-free community. We want safe schools. We want safe Surrey. Yes. Yes, please. So if Mayor can come this side, Councillor Locke, if you can come here.
We call him the Iron Man of Surrey. Always for a fix. And we're waiting for
What do we want today? What's our slogan for the day?
Young Lives Matter!
Students want?
Drug and gang-free communities!
Students want safe schools. Students want safe Surrey. Yes.
How's the Josh?
One more time. What's our slogan?
Young
Good job, eh?